com. Command has been given. Crank him up.
Let's go.
When I say I don't know, I don't know.
Let's go, baby.
Now, the Morning Drive.
Buckle up, everybody.
A little bit of this and a little bit of that.
It's a game changer.
I listen to you guys every single day on my way to work.
Well, again, I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on the radio.
You guys are amazing.
What are you doing over there?
I'm going to the top.
The Morning Drive with Mike Bagley and Pete Pistone.
To the bat balls.
Can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Sirius XM, NASCAR Radio, Channel 90. Live and on the air for this Tuesday morning, May 16th, 2023. Mike Bagley here in Delmarva Studio 1D. We've got Pistol Pete Pistone in the Paisan Palace in Chicago. Davey and Henry in Studio 134 of the Beltway Bureau in our nation's capital. We welcome each and every one of you to this Tuesday morning. It's a TMDJ Tuesday. Pistol Pete's playlist brings us to green. Top of the morning, Chief. How we doing?
Good morning, Bagman. Good morning, everybody. Happy TMDJ Tuesday to one and all. Yes, clarity. Clarity. I can see clearly now on a Tuesday morning because it is a beautiful Tuesday here in the Windy City. We're going to be near, I think, 84 today, Baggy. All of a sudden, instant summer. So looking forward to a nice, still spring day here in Chicago.
We are getting off to a not a chilly start, but there's a little nip in the air. 56 degrees, but it's no humidity, so it's a cool 56. Tomorrow morning, we're on alert that there are going to be places in the Delaware Valley that will be in the 30s.
What?
We here at Delmarva Studio 1D will be about 45 tomorrow morning when we get
gracious.
up.
My God.
Can't make our minds up, can we?
See, the guy came and tuned up the air conditioner on Friday. Remember I told you we had a little discombobulation with the condenser, I think
Is that what they call it?
I think that was the official word on the invoice, yeah.
Diagnosis?
But to your point, you know, I believe the furnace kicked on like last night because it got cool, but now it's going to get warm again. So, but I see the 10-day here, and I see Memorial Day weekend not that far down the road, and we're going to be in for some nice weather here. So I'm looking forward to that, and been working hard to get the outside all buttoned up. My goal is Friday, Memorial Day weekend at 3 o'clock. I want to be done with everything, work-wise, outdoor-wise, sit on my patio with an ice cold beer and say, okay, summer, let's go. Giddy up. Let's go racing in Charlotte. Let's go racing in Indianapolis. Let's go summer. That's my goal. Anyway, we'll see. I'm trying.
That's quite a plan you got there.
It's a great plan
for you.
Huge plan.
Good timeline.
Baggy, huge plan. Look, I actually typed it up. There's my outdoor patio plan. It's all typed up, ready to go. You know me, OCD. Yeah, you know me. How was your travels back? I know you had some.
Don't start.
Well,
Just don't
I'm just asking you because we worry about you, and I know you had some problems getting home last night.
Yeah, we did. Oh,
Yeah, we did. What was the problem? What was it? Did they pinpoint the reason you were delayed? What's the deal?
Well, the plane was coming out of Buffalo. Well, first of all, I got off the air yesterday, and
so it was coming out of Buffalo, so it was wide left. Okay, back to you.
Wow. So now you're trying to get the Buffalonians or the Buffaloans or whoever they are termed as worked up this morning.
The
Bills
Buffalites.
fans.
Yes.
So I got done and kibitzed a little bit in the office, and then because I wasn't supposed to be wheels up till 2:55, so had a little extra time, and kibitzed a little bit. Got in the car, drove to the airport, returned the car. Which, by the way, I don't know what's going on with Hertz. I still have not gotten my receipt yet, so I got the last space to return a car. They were starting to stack them up and around the drive-in deal and all that stuff. So I don't know what's going on there. We'll get to that later. Got done with that. But actually, security was a breeze. Had to check my bags in and then got through security. I went to the Admirals Club, and that thing was packed. I mean, you had to like wait for a seat to open up. Finally got there. And I sat down, and I was having some hummus and some cheese. I was. And a nice, cold, crisp, refreshing Diet Coke. And here we go. Flight delayed now to 3:20. And then it was 3:40. And then it was 4 o'clock. Then it was 4:20. Then it was 5:30. Then they pulled it back to 428, not 430 or 425, but 428.
Okay.
And I looked at my watch and we went wheels up. It was 5:01. And then we set her down in Philly, had to wait about 45 minutes for the bags. By the time we got that to the shuttle and got in the car and came home, it was 8 o'clock last night. That's when I walked in the door. The reason why, I don't know why it was late coming out of Buffalo, but as we're standing there, rugby scrum formation, as the American Airlines boarding process always is. Yes, you're correct. They were 22 wide.
What?
And trying to get on the thing, you got the zone 9s up there with the zone 2s the 4s in with the 1s.
Sit down, please.
So I had this couple next to me. I'm standing kind of backing off to the side, and they start the inching and the inching and the inching and the inching. And I turned to them and I said, you inching forward isn't going to accelerate the process. Because all you're doing now this was the internal thought, because what you're doing now is screwing it up by being in the way.
Right.
Because they've got wheelchairs and that they're trying to get on and folks that need assistance. And these zone 1 people, first class, is trying to get in there and inch. Okay, just let them get the wheelchairs on there. By them going around you are elongating this process. Move! That's what I wanted to say.
Inside. Right.
That was the inside voice.
Yeah. What was your outside voice?
The inside voice was quite loud and quite terse. But the outside was, hey, how y'all doing?
Right,
Exactly. One of those things.
Oh, yeah.
So as we're standing there, we're getting ready to get on the plane, the lady picks up the thing. For all of you going to Philadelphia, the pilot has just informed us that the lavatories will not be working until we get to cruising altitude. So you need to go now.
Empty it now.
That's all they have to tell me, and now I have to go. By telling me I can't go, now I got to go.
I don't know why that was the case. I kind of didn't want to know why. But as is the case, we get all boarded up, and here comes this dude that's got to go, and they tell him no, and he starts raising hell about it. You were warned.
Yes.
You were warned before you got on the plane, and you were warned in the boarding process. Go in the galley and get a cup. You ain't going in that bathroom. Neither one of them are working right now. Or hang on until you get to 10,000 feet or however high we got to go.
Was there not enough suckage until you got to a cruising altitude? What would be the issue? That's interesting.
I don't know. I just didn't want to know. We flushed the bathroom, the right wing's going to fall off. I didn't want to know all that. I don't.
There's some things that only work at speed. Some things that only work at altitude.
I guess.
I guess taking a leak's one.
And then the guy next to me was just melting down over it, because I don't know if he had to go and couldn't or whatever. But I'm like, listen, our alternative is this plane to be pulled out of service and then have to get us another one, and we're waiting here for hours more. So either hold it or wait.
In the industry.
Airport. Every week. Last week at Kansas, it was a joy. When I had to go through DC. Anyway, got on the ground here, got home, and it was one of those things where I just wanted to sit on the sofa. And as soon as I sat on the sofa, but here we are, re-racked and ready to go again. Thank goodness I don't have to fly for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Take
you got a couple
off
weeks off before you have to get back into the friendly skies.
Portland's my
That's
next
good.
one.
Oh, well, it's right around the
across the
corner.
country.
It's good to know it's right around the corner.
I feel like you had a pretty good stretch, though, up until these last couple
did.
weeks. So,
I did.
What goes up must come down, unfortunately.
But
Couple of
again,
bumps on the road.
I mean, I drove from Kansas and I got stuck in the storm and got pulled off. You know what I mean? It's no joy no matter where you go. Just stay home, everybody. Don't go anywhere. Just don't go anywhere.
No, we want people to come to the racetrack, so we don't want people to stay home.
It's a lot simpler when you do, but I get your point, I guess. That's about it. I mean, there's nothing else going on around here. We're sort of at the home stretch of the spring, I guess, and sports are starting to queue up. But it's funny, the NBA situation. And sorry, I know your Sixers went down to the Celtics, on Sunday night. This is the same conference finals as the bubble year, right?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So it's the same
What
thing
was
as
the bubble year?
The bubble year when we had
The COVID thing.
the COVID thing, and everybody played in the same place in
That's
Orlando.
when the Lakers won. It was Lakers, Nuggets, Heat, Celtics.
Yeah,
Same thing this year.
So it's bubble year 3 years later without the bubble. That's basically how they're framing the NBA.
Because they popped it.
I'm thinking that it's going to be Lakers Heat here.
Well, that's the bubble year. Same thing. Yeah, be the same thing.
The
Same
LeBron
championship.
Finals.
Well,
2.0.
I wasn't following the NBA back then.
Right.
I was
Right.
just trying to find toilet paper and paper towels and like hand gel back then.
Front runner.
Well, so was I, but I was still watching the NBA, but I was looking for those things as well. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. So that's happening. We're going to go to a minor league baseball game on Memorial Day weekend, which I look forward to. The Chicago Dogs, that little stadium there by O'Hare. I think you've seen it when you've flown in or out. Because someone said to me yesterday or over the weekend, "Hey, what are you doing Memorial Day?" And I'm like, "I don't know. When is that? 2 weeks from now." Wow, already? So some plans are coming into place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So other than that,
Memorial Day weekend is a week from Friday. Just
Yeah.
stop and get your arms around that for a second.
It's hard
We're
to
already
believe.
at Memorial Day.
It's hard to believe. Talked to Sammy, who will be back this week, texted me yesterday out of the blue. He's in Ireland. I'm sitting here working on something in the office, and it's a text from Sammy. And first, when I saw Sammy, I thought it was nephew Sammy, because he's home now, graduated from Arizona State, got an internship at Northwestern, so all that's good. But then I looked, and it was our Sammy Agee in Ireland, and he said he ran into Brian Kelly, who used to be the head coach of the Notre Dame football team, who's now the head coach of LSU. And he said he was a really good guy. And he said, but you know what? He looks like Todd Gordon. And sure enough, I found a picture of Brian Kelly, and he does look like Todd Gordon, our very own Todd Gordon.
It's one of those things where, like, I've thought about, or I haven't thought about it, and then as soon as you said it,
Yeah.
I can't unsee it.
Same thing. But it sounds like Sam's having a good time in Ireland. He'll be back on Thursday. But I appreciate him texting me. I don't know what those data charges were when you go from overseas to me, but I appreciate that. So that's about it. All quiet on the Western Front.
All things are quiet here in the Mid-Atlantic front. We're just kind of cruising.
Let's
Well,
not
you're the one that said it first. I say it, and I get shushed.
Well, just don't tempt fate is all I'm saying. We both said it. Now we're both going to get it from the East and the West. That's all we need.
What about the North and the South? What did they do to you?
That's on them, North and South. I don't know.
What's going on in the nation's capital?
Not much. It was such a nice day yesterday. Oh, my goodness. I was just chilling on the rooftop watching the sunset. Perfect weather. Mid-70s. No humidity. A little bit of wind. It was a picture-perfect day in the district. Chamber of Commerce, one may say. It's not getting 88 today, but it's going to get 80-ish. A little hot, but it's good weather right now in D.C. I'm loving it.
Bottle it up. I love it. It's great. Speaking of bottling it up, did you ever buy the Chick-fil-A sauce in the grocery store?
Yeah.
I have some in my fridge.
I never did that before. I brought some home over the week, or Shelly got some over the weekend. It's pretty
How did
good.
it make you feel? Feels pretty good.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not used to seeing the Chick-fil-A bottle in my refrigerator. I grilled some burgers last night, some nice pub burgers, and I wanted to do a bunch of little dipping. I didn't want to do ketchup or barbecue sauce. Like I did like 3 or 4, so I put a little of that on the side, a little dippage. It wasn't bad. It really wasn't bad.
What were you dipping?
The hamburger, the pub burger I bought.
Wait, you dip your hamburger?
Sure.
Really? I've never heard that. I've never done that.
It's not a slider. It's like a full burger.
Yeah, it's a big burger. It's a pub burger. They sell them at the grocery store. This one was infused with cheddar cheese. Shelly had hers infused with, I want to say, feta cheese. And it didn't have a bun or anything, so we just did some potato salad, a little sides. But I did like a dipping station of like 3 or 4 different things. Ketchup was 1, Sweet Baby Ray's was 2, the Chick-fil-A sauce was 3, and there was a 4th one. I can't remember what it was. Oh, it was honey mustard. So yeah. the
So
little
no
dippage.
bun
Wait.
and dipping the patty?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You
Big
cut
patty.
the patty?
in
yeah.
honey mustard sauce.
A little bit, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have never heard of that in my entire life.
Pretty
I've
Try
known
it.
Winston Kelly for years. He's the king of dipping sauces. I've never known Winston to dip a burger in
Try
dipping
it.
sauce.
I'll tell you what. Sometimes I dip my French fries in a bunch of different things that aren't ketchup. How about that?
Oh, I'll tell you
Well,
what.
I do that, but I've never heard of the actual burger
Yeah.
itself.
These are big burgers too. But I grilled those all up. That was
And
nice.
you cannot lie.
Cannot lie.
How about
like
those
big-
cakes?
I like big burgers. Okay, but I say, honey, we don't have any buns. She goes, oh, that's okay. We don't need the bread. Oh, well, maybe you don't, but I'd like to put my burger on a nice bun.
Pack the cheeks.
My cheeks were packed.
It's the small things, isn't it, that make you so happy?
Well, that was a big
Both
thing.
of you.
Yeah, that was a big thing. Well, people interrupting you when you're eating is not you, just in general. It's tough, right? You got to swallow. You got a lot going on. You don't want to spit food at them. You know what I mean?
And it's at the most inopportune time. It's like, hang on, my man, before you go snapping pictures, just let me get my mouth emptied and let me just, swallow this bite of lunch that I'm in the middle of. Hang on a minute. I mean, my man just walked up, camera was out, and he was aiming and getting ready to shoot. And I'm like, hey, what are you doing?
Now you know what it's like to be followed by the paparazzi.
Right.
And
You're like Gaga. You're like Gaga.
no, I'm not going to show up to Portland in a meat outfit.
You'll have every dog in Oregon following you around if you do.
But yeah, that was very aggressive right there. And just like, hang on, my man, we'll get you squared away, but just let me get this food out of my mouth.
Yeah.
And he stood down there for just a second.
Well, take a step back and let me finish.
Oh, it's
There
like
you
the
go.
people that when you go out somewhere, they like they'll look, and then they'll whisper, and then they'll look,
Right.
and then they'll whisper,
Be like,
and then
that's
they'll
him,
just
right?
look,
I think that's him.
and then they'll look, and then they'll look. People have actually Googled me and people that I've been with, like in front of us.
Yeah.
And that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But then they'll just stare at you, and I'm like, okay, this is very awkward. And then I have to break that awkwardness. Like, hey, how you doing?
Yeah. Well, I
Like,
had
just come up and introduce yourself. Rather, don't stand there and stare. That's so weird.
Well, I had somebody one time, Ed O'Hare, come up to me, and they were very nice. They said, I don't want to bother you. I really enjoy your work. You do such great work. Could I have an autograph? And I said, well, that's very flattering. So they gave me, I forgot what it was. So I signed Alan Bestwick's name to it. And off they went. They thought they talked to AB that day.
At least it has some value now.
Right, exactly. What do you want my autograph for?
They thought you were Alan Bestwick?
They thought I was Alan Bestwick. They went on this whole thing about, we really admire your work, blah, blah, blah. And then they said something, I think this would have been when Alan was working with NBC. And I said, oh, great. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. And I signed Alan Bestwick's name, and off they went.
Well, Pete, I mean, I've followed your career all the way back to when you worked with Shadow Stevens on ABC Radio.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
You were
Exactly.
unbelievable back then. You were unstoppable.
Your call at Daytona was phenomenal, Pete.
Right.
I'm
That's-
sorry, Alan.
They went on and on and on, and I didn't want to, ruin it and say, oh, no, I'm not that guy, I'm that guy. And they'd say, well, who's that guy? So they have a phony Alan Bestwick autograph. Thanks to me.
As right now, a lot of race fans are inventorying their autograph. Hey, make sure you just slide one through on us. Got an imposter.
I didn't want to ruin their day. They thought they met a big star, and, in their mind they did. So there you go. And good morning, Alan. I hope you're listening.
Coming up, bottom of the hour, we got headline check number 1. It's a Tuesday, and that means it's time for Tuesday takeaways. We will get your Tuesday takeaways from the Goodyear 400 race weekend. Also, some pretty interesting comments yesterday from Ross Chastain's car owner, Justin Marks. He was on SiriusXM Speedway with Dave Moody here on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio yesterday. We're going to let you hear from Justin. Also, special message for you folks going to North Wilkesboro at the bottom of the hour. 7:30, coming out of news. If you've got tickets for North Wilkesboro, or if you're going to North Wilkesboro, you're going to want to listen to the things that we have to share with you to help prepare you for this weekend's events there. Coming up at 8, we'll visit with NASCAR Cup Series Managing Director Brad Moran. We'll also have the calendar for you at 8:50. Going to chat with Tanner Gray, third place in the truck race Friday night at Darlington. He'll kick us off on the 9 o'clock hour. Christian Eckes, your Darlington winner, will join us at 9:30. And coming up at 10:15 this morning, Adam Stevens, crew chief for Christopher Bell at Joe Gibbs Racing. And we will chat with Adam coming out of Darlington, getting ready to head to North Wilkesboro this weekend. We'll take your telephone calls at 866-BIT-LANE, and we'll also take your tweets at SiriusXM NASCAR. #TMD NASCAR.